Live from the Bishop Navy Media Center, this is Luntha TV News, and I'm Premature. As Malawi awaits the election results, we reflect on the sacredness of our democracy, a system the Church teaches is rooted in human dignity and the common good, not just counting votes. We pray our institutions uphold these values, ensuring every vote is respected. Stay with us for the headlines of the latest, guided by our faith and truth. Pope Leo urges peace, condemns violence in Gaza. MEC warns against premature victory claims amid Malawi elections. 2025 elections expose hidden strain on Malawi's health system. In Continental news, ousted VP Machar's trial commences in Juba. And now the news in detail. We start with news from the Vatican, where Pope Leo XIV expressed gratitude to Catholic associations supporting the people of Gaza and renewed his call for peace during the Sunday Angelus. He emphasized that there is no future in violence, forced exile, or revenge, and that people need peace. The Pope stood in solidarity with those aiding Gaza and the church leaders in the Holy Land, urging for an end to the cycle of violence. Bridget Manoka reading a Vatican News report.
The Holy Father made his remarks immediately following the Angelus on Sunday, offering his first greetings to representatives of various Catholic associations committed to solidarity with the people of the Gaza Strip. He said he appreciates their initiative and many others throughout the Church that express closeness to the brothers and sisters suffering in that tormented land. At least 60 Palestinians were killed in Gaza on Saturday, according to Gazan health authorities, amid an ongoing Israel assault on Gaza City and throughout the enclave. Israel forces have been destroying high-rise buildings in Gaza City and working to dismantle underground shafts and booby-trapped structures in their latest offensive, which began last week. Israel forces control the city's eastern suburbs, hoping to use further territorial gains to advance on the central and western parts of the city. The Israeli government claims almost 500,000 people have left Gaza City since the beginning of the month. However, Hamas, which controls Gaza, disputes those figures, saying only 300,000 people have fled, while more than 900,000 remain, including a small number of Israel hostages, less than 50, still being held by Hamas or other Palestinian groups.
And now to the trending national news. The Malawi Electoral Commission MEC has assured Malawians that it will continue announcing the results of the September 16, 2025 general election without interruption to ensure that the will of citizens is respected and communicated on time. MEC Chairperson Justice Annabel Mtalimanja said the Commission is strictly guided by the country's electoral laws and will abide by them until the conclusion of the electoral process. She emphasized that MEC is committed to upholding professionalism and transparency throughout. Emmanuel Chiwocha reports.
897 votes, followed by Malawians went to the polls last Tuesday, September 16, 2025, to elect president, members of parliament, and councillors, across the country. Voter turnout was described as impressive by various election observers. Addressing both the media and the general public, Ntalimanja explained that MEC will provide continuous updates to keep the nation informed. She stressed that the electoral body is determined to ensure the will of the people expressed through the ballot is protected. The MEC chairperson further highlighted that all results will undergo thorough verification, reconciliation, and confirmation before being officially announced. She said this step is necessary to guarantee accuracy, transparency, and accountability and credibility in the entire electoral process. As of Monday, the Commission had announced results from 13 out of 36 risk councils. Preliminary figures shows that Democratic Progressive Party presidential candidate leading with 501,897 votes, followed by Malawi Congress Party presidential candidate Dr. Lazarus Chakwera leading with 210,137 votes. With the presidential race still underway, all eyes remained on the Malawi Electoral Commission as Malawians eagerly wait the final tally to determine the country's next leader.
Still on elections, the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC has expressed deep concern over premature declarations of victory and public statements contradicting official results. MEC Chairperson Justice Annabel Ntalimanja emphasized the need for accuracy, responsibility, and the respect for due process in public statements related to the electoral process. The MEC Chairperson's comments come just after hours the Malawi Congress Party and Democratic Progressive Party held press conferences accusing each other of rigging the elections, with some celebrating their perceived victories. More in this report by Bridget Manoka.
Ntalimanja urged all leaders, political parties, and stakeholders to exercise maximum responsibility in their communications, saying they should be factual, relying on verified information, and avoid inflaming the situation by projecting unverified claims. The MEC chairperson reassured the nation that the Commission is operating strictly within the law and is committed to transparency at every time. The Malawi Congress Party MCP accused the Democratic Progressive Party DPP of rigging during a press conference, citing discrepancies in vote counts in certain constituencies, including Dedza, Likoma, and Mzimba. MCP's Firumbiko Mumba claimed that results from different tally centers didn't match and there were unusual high numbers of null and void votes, such as 20,000 in Lilongwe Rural. The MCP has filed a complaint with the Malawi Electoral Commission seeking an impartial investigation. But DPP's Jean Matanga urged Malawians to remain calm and trust the Malawi Electoral Commission to deliver accurate results, dismissing MCP's allegation of vote rigging as baseless. Meanwhile, the Women Lawyers Association expresses concern over the conduct of political parties and candidates. In a statement, women lawyers said premature victory declarations and baseless allegations of electoral malpractice threaten the integrity of the electoral process. Bridget Manoka, Luntha News.
And political analyst Chimwemwe Tsitsi has warned that Malawi's fragile democratic process could be undermined if political parties continue making premature claims of victory ahead of official announcements from the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC. He said while Malawians are eager for swift results, it is vital for all stakeholders to respect the Commission's mandate. Tsitsi observed that some results were withheld due to discrepancies, with MEC undertaking investigations before releasing verified tallies. Judith Organ has filed a report read by Fales Chizombe.
Tsitsi urged political parties to refrain from holding press conferences that declare or imply victory, as seen with the MCP and DPP, citing it could confuse the public and undermine the Malawi Electoral Commission's authority.
The press briefing, it highlighted a number of things. First of all, the updates, we got more updates from 4 more district councils, more councils. They could be town or city or district councils. So that was a progress. However, looking at the time frame, perhaps Malawians expected that some more councils would have been included. But I think since at the Malawi Electoral Commission, as said by the chairperson, they are following the due process, whereby if they observe some discrepancies, such kind of results are held for further investigation. And she reported that from the districts that they were trying to verify yesterday, there were a number of them whose results were held because there were some discrepancies and they had to conduct further investigation.
Tsitsi also welcomed MEC's commitment to resolving complaints within the legal timeframe, emphasizing that patience, restraint, and respect for due process are crucial for the credibility of the 2025 elections. He concluded by saying that patience, restraint, and respect for due process are the most important contributors political players can make to safeguard the credibility of the 2025 elections.
You're watching news live on Luntha TV. We take a short break. Stay with us.
The church of tomorrow depends on the seminarians of today, men answering God's call, preparing to serve as priests for life. But for the formation to continue, they need us. On 27 September 2025, the Archdiocese of Lilongwe hosts a special fundraising for our seminarians. To form a priest is to form a shepherd for life. Our major seminaries as hubs of priestly formation require much to nurture future priests holistically, spiritually, academically, and pastorally. And yes, it also requires financial sacrifice. This year, we have 64 seminarians answering to the call to serve. Their tuition fees for the 2025-2026 academic year amount to 154,820,000 kwacha. We call upon all parishes, institutions, lay groups, families, and individuals to stand together in this noble mission. Your contribution, big or small, will help build the church of tomorrow. Did you know? To fully sponsor one seminarian for a year requires just 2.8 million kwacha. You too may wish to adopt a seminarian. So, all contributions are kindly requested to be completed by the same date, 27th day of September 2025. This program shall begin with a Holy Mass at Maula Cathedral, celebrated by His Lordship Auxiliary Bishop Vincent Makwawa at 9:30 a.m. This will be followed by a luncheon and entertaining activities, a joyful gathering of faith and generosity. Together, let us invest in the future priests of our archdiocese. Together, let us answer God's call. Contributions can be made through the following details. Bank, Centenary Bank, account name, Archdiocese of Lilongwe, account number 904336335102, branch Old Town. For mobile contributions, Airtel Money 0985 613 462, TNM Pamba 500-695, Archdiocese of Lilongwe. Your generosity today will form the priests of tomorrow.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Luntha TV News and I'm Kathy Matura. Before we proceed, here is a recap of the news making the headlines at this hour.
Pope Leo urges peace, condemns violence in Gaza. MEC warns against premature victory claims amid Malawi elections. 2025 elections expose hidden strain on Malawi's health system. In Continental news, ousted VP Machar's trial commences in Juba.
And moving on, a youth-led group under the banner Lilongwe Concerned Youth has urged Malawians, especially young people, to remain peaceful and respect the electoral process as the country awaits official results from the Malawi Electoral Commission, MEC. Speaking to reporters on Monday, the group led by Chikondi Faison distanced itself from any political party but expressed support for what they described as the people's choice in the ongoing electoral process. More details in this report filed by Charity Chilanga.
The grouping declared their acceptance of Peter Mutharika as the presumed leader of the Democratic Progressive Party DPP, saying they believe he reflects the will of the people. Although the Malawi Electoral Commission has not yet announced the final outcome of the September 16, 2025 polls, Faison said their position is based on unofficial tallies they believe reflect the national sentiment. He emphasized that their primary message was not political endorsement, but a call for peace and responsible youth engagement. He encouraged young people to avoid being used for political gain and instead champion unity, peace, and national progress.
Malawi is a land of peace, and we must all act in a way that protects that legacy. Young people in the central region in particular have often been used for political violence and unrest.
The group also called on all Malawians, regardless of political affiliation, to accept the decisions made at the ballot box and allow the Electoral Commission to complete its process without interference.
One concerned citizen, Enoch Kundwe, has urged political parties in Malawi to refrain from violence as the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC continues to announce the official results for the presidential candidates. This call for restraint comes amid celebrations by the Democratic Progressive Party DPP supporters who are proclaiming the victory of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika in September 16th general elections. Patrick Pupa filed this report.
As the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC proceeds with the announcement of the official results for the general elections, Some Malawians have pointed out that in any competition, there can be only one winner. Kundwe referenced the ongoing exchange of claims between members of the Malawi Congress Party and the Democratic Progressive Party, each asserting victory in the election.
Honestly, I'm just worried because in a competition, there's one winner. So you see these two parties, everybody is saying we have won, we have won. So that's my greatest worry on that one, because we cannot have two winners at one competition. That's very difficult. So what I can only say is that like Malawi at this time, it is at standstill. Nothing is moving around, nothing is moving forward. That's a major problem. So I urge the chair lady of make just fasten things so that everything should be free.
Since the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC began announcing the official results, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika of the Democratic Progressive Party DPP is currently in the lead with 451,766 votes. For Luntha News, this is Patri Pupa.
The September 16th general election has once again revealed how Malawi's health sector is indirectly strained during political processes, raising calls for better protection of health services and stronger post-election interventions. Health expert George Jobe explained that while resources for the sector are budgeted for in advance, elections tend to divert attention and logistics away from hospitals and clinics. He noted that during the voting period, some government vehicles belonging to health facilities were directed to support electoral operations, disrupting medical deliveries in certain areas. Judith Organ has filed a report read by Jacqueline Saidi.
Jobe also pointed out a hidden but critical challenge linked to elections' mental health. He said both losing candidates and their supporters often experience psychological distress, which is worsened by celebrations and taunts on social media. This, he explained, can leave lasting effects if not addressed quickly and carefully. He urged political leaders, faith-based groups, and civil society to prioritize counseling and social support for affected groups. According to him, building resilience in communities after elections is just as important as resolving disputes and announcing results.
Yeah. But let us also mention a hidden health issue associated with elections. That is mental health. Because we have supporters of political candidates, and we have the candidates. Some of the candidates might not make it, and psychologically it is affected. And we overlook this. People celebrate in social media, so has lost, without knowing the healthy implications on such people. So would urge community leaders and other leaders to provide counseling and psychosocial support to those who have not made it, knowing that there will be next time. Moving forward, post-elections, when results are officially announced, firstly, we also want interventions that will address the losers, as far as mental health is concerned. Secondly,
looking forward, Jobe said the implementation of party manifestos will be key to strengthening the health sector. He welcomed the inclusion of a proposed National Health Fund by both the Malawi Congress Party and the Democratic Progressive Party, saying it aligns with long-standing advocacy to protect health financing from being diverted to other areas. He stressed that domestic revenue collection, medicine availability, and commitments such as the Abuja Declaration must remain priorities in the post-election period. According to him, the upcoming mid-year budget review will be a critical test of whatever the new administration is serious about investing in health and addressing shortages of essential medicines across the country.
And in Continental news, the trial of former South Sudan Vice President Riek Machar began on Monday in the capital, Juba. Machar, alongside the co-accused, was presented in a cage inside the courtroom. The justice authorities said Machar faced criminal charges for his alleged role in an attack on a garrison of government troops earlier this year. Here is Fales Chizombe reading an African News report.
Other charges include murder, conspiracy, terrorism, destruction of public property and military assets, and crimes against humanity. This was the first time Machar appeared in public since he was placed under house arrest in March. Machar's lawyers argued that the court was incompetent and therefore lacked jurisdiction on the matter. They further defended Machar, claiming that he is protected from such persecutions since he is part of the signatories to the 2018 peace deal that brought the end of a civil war that claimed the lives of at least 400,000 people. Both Machar and President Salva Kiir are not on good terms. Kiir hails from the Dinka, the largest ethnic group, while Machar hails from the Nuer, the second largest.
Fales Chizombe right there reading the African News report on the commencement of trial of former South Sudan Vice President Riek Machar's trial, marking the end of this bulletin. The top stories once again before I go.
Pope Leo urges peace, condemns violence in Gaza. MEC warns against premature victory claims amid Malawi elections. 2025 elections expose hidden strain on Malawi's health system. In Continental news, ousted VP Machar's trial commences in Juba.
As we conclude the bulletin at this hour here at Luntha TV, we pray for all Malawians to remain peaceful and trust in the electoral process, knowing that our ultimate hope lies in God's guidance. Thank you for choosing Luntha TV. I'm Kathy Matura. May God bless our nation, Malawi. Goodbye for now.
The church of tomorrow depends on the seminarians of today, men answering God's call, preparing to serve as priests for life. But for the formation to continue, they need us. On 27 September 2025, the Archdiocese of Lilongwe hosts a special fundraising for our seminarians. To form a priest is to form a shepherd for life. Our major seminaries as hubs of priestly formation require much to nurture future priests holistically, spiritually, academically, and pastorally. And yes, it also requires financial sacrifice. This year, we have 64 seminarians answering to the call to serve. Their tuition fees for the 2025-2026 academic year amount to 154,820,000 kwacha. We call upon all parishes, institutions, lay groups, families, and individuals to stand together in this noble mission. Your contribution, big or small, will help build the church of tomorrow.